futuristico, rap futuristico, rap futuristico, rap futuristico.
Well, I'm delighted to say I have Giancarlo Rinaldi of Rinaldi's blog and Football Italia fame. Giancarlo, how are you doing?
I'm not too bad.
Well, we'll just get some short and sweet opinions from you ahead of the Euros, obviously on the Azzurri. Just want to get your thoughts on what you think about the team that Italy have taken to the tournament.
Well, I was much more confident probably 3 or 4 months ago than I am now. I thought that Cesare Prandelli had done a really good job of kind of bringing a bit of new life into the squad and starting to teach them to take the attack to the opposition a bit more and play a more enterprising and attractive brand of football, especially after the disaster of 2010 in South Africa. But recent events on and off the pitch have kind of dented that confidence a bit. We haven't looked too good in friendly games in the build-up, although I don't take too much from those. But, obviously with all the kind of betting investigations bubbling away in the background, it's not been the best build-up. I know there's a school of thought saying that Italy sometimes do their best when they're in these sort of circumstances, 2006 and 1982 and all that, but it's still got to be a worry. I think really what they need is a confidence boost in the first game, and don't come any bigger than playing Spain in the opener, and so that's over there. It's going to be a crunch moment, I think, because the confidence is probably a bit low, and they need something to pick it up. It's a decent squad. You've got to remember they went to Spain, played them in a friendly, and got a result. So there are players there that can do the job, but they're definitely they've taken a bit of a blow to morale, and that's going to need some building back up again.
Yeah, I'm obviously, you said you're a bit less confident. I'm not very confident at all. In fact, I'm kind of doubting whether or not they will get out of the group. I think, in my opinion, I just think things are kind of that disjointed. How do you think they'll do in the tournament? Do you think they'll progress? How far do you think they'll go?
I think they can progress. I do see that first game as absolutely pivotal. Not so much from the getting the points from it. I think even a defeat where they play well, we just give them the belief that they can go head to head with one of the big guns in the tournament and produce some football. But they need that to get momentum, because after that, in a way, although on paper it gets easier, I think the nerves start to kick in. If they really take a beating in the opening game, then confidence will be so low that Croatia and the wily Old Trafford Tories, Ireland, I think to go into that game needing to get something, because that you've set them up nicely to sting you on the break in the old school Italian way, and that would be a worry. But I still think I'm unlikely to be optimistic, but I'm going to say they'll scrape through the group one way or another in the old Italian style, by hook or by crook, maybe even just with 4 points or something, and get through there. But I can't see us winning it. I don't think the squad's quite strong enough. The morale's too low. Maybe too many people injured along the way, and I think that maybe quarter or semi-final is the best that we can hope for. But that can still be a positive thing. Although Italy should go into every competition competing to win it, if we think where they came from just 2 years ago at the World Cup, if we did get out of the groups and did make it to say a semi-final, I think that would be progress, because the European Championships, really, you've got 3 of the 4 World Cup semi-finalists there. The level of the competition is very high. If Italy can show that they can hold their own, then that's a real building block towards a World Cup. It's a big step forward.
And I want to get your opinion on a player. Who do you think is the key man for Italy?
I think it's maybe predictable to say it, but I think he was a key man all season for Juventus as well. I think Andrea Pirlo is going to be key man again in terms of if he can get on the ball a lot and start to pick out those passes that he does. He can give Italy a shape. He can make them tick, and he can really impose their play on almost anyone. As I say, Paul Ortner against Spain, because we know what to expect from the Spanish. I mean, they'll sort of tiki-taka you to death. You'll never see the ball, and you have to play, I think, a different style. You can't try to out-pass Spain. That's just asking for trouble. But if we maybe with a bit more directness and cutting edge, I think, and a real high tempo that throws them off their stride, I do think you get chances. You need to take them. So Pirlo at the heart of the team, and then I think Balotelli has to hit form as well. We need somebody to stick the ball in the net, because that's really been the problem recently. The play's been all right. It's been quite attractive at times. The full-backs push forward, and it looks reasonably good from defence to midfield. It's when we get to attack that there's nobody deadly enough to put the ball away. And if you look at the squad, there's not really a lot of international goals experience here. You add up kind of Balotelli, Giancarlo, but you don't get a lot of goals that have been scored. You've got boys with potential to score goals. And you've got Di Natale, certainly, that has scored a lot of goals in Serie A, but there's always that nagging doubt that when he steps up to the Nazionale, he maybe gets a bit nervous. I don't know, he just doesn't quite have the same killer instinct for Italy as he does for Udinese. I hope that I'm wrong in that, but I think if I was picking out a man for the attack, I'd pick out Balotelli as being the man that could potentially explode in all sorts of ways, good and bad.
Indeed it is. And finally, Giancarlo, who is your tip to win Euro 2012?
Well, I don't think I'm saying anything out of the ordinary here when I tip Germany. I think plenty of people have done so already. They seem to have a good mix of exciting young players and fairly hardened old troops. They look very good at the last World Cup. They've come on for that. I think they know each other's play very well. They play an attractive brand of football as well. And I think if you said that maybe Spain, Holland, maybe their main rivals, I just think that they've maybe had their peak and could be on the way down, whereas you get the impression that Germany are a team on the way up, and that can go all the way and win it. Although, having said all of that, they do have quite a tricky start to the competition, and getting out of the group might be the most difficult part for them. And plenty of tournament favourites have gone off the rails before. They'd be my pick, but I think the beauty of the European nations is that it does produce shocks more than a World Cup, really, in terms of overall winner. I don't think we've had a World Cup that's been won by the equivalent of a Greece or a Denmark. It tends to be the preserve and maybe the host nation and 3 or 4 big guns, whereas this time around I don't see a host nation doing it in Poland or Ukraine. Poland might, they've got a group that they could easily get out of, and I think that's quite important for a tournament that somebody does. But if you say that probably neither of the host nations is strong enough to win it, then you come back to the big names. But the European nations does allow for a surprise, and it's not beyond the realms of possibility that Sweden or Portugal or somebody, or Croatia, maybe hits a streak of form, and it's a shorter tournament. You don't need to win as many games to actually go on and lift the trophy. They could shock you. But if I was picking one now, if I was, as I am, a betting man, then I'd probably have a cheeky fiver on the Germans.
Excellent, Giancarlo. Thank you very much.